It's the Kyle and Jackie O show this morning here at Kiss FM. Rob Lowe, an actor, producer, director. The guy's got bloody a heap of...
I had a dream about Rob Lowe the other night.
Oh, well, he's on now. Do you want to tell him about it?
Ooh, wait. I want to hear about the dream. Let's first things first.
Okay.
Oh, Rob, I don't know if you're going to like it, actually.
Why?
Well, it was a very weird dream, but you were over in the corner of the room. We're at like a bar, and I was like, is that Rob Lowe? But you had all this acne all over your face.
Ew!
Where
I
did
know,
that
but
come from?
it was really weird because I was looking at you going, you've got so much bright red acne, but yet the beauty, I can see the beauty.
Shining
it's
through
there.
the pus
Yeah.
was the gorgeous
Yeah,
Rob
I could
Lowe.
still see the gorgeous Rob Lowe behind the acne.
Where did that dream come? That's a weirdo dream,
Well,
right?
I think because I knew he was on the show, and then you're obviously in my subconscious, and my subconscious has dreamt about you.
Do you have a men's
Low
skincare
profile.
line?
I do. It's called low profile. I'm sorry. It's called Profile
Yeah.
Cobalt, and it's because I think every guy should have the access to all the secrets that I've had growing up in the business, and that's what your subconscious knew.
You know,
Yeah,
that's
well, there you
cool.
go.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if you're probably right there. But normally Jackie has these fantasy dreams. They're all sexually based and usually
yeah,
they're pie
they're
in the
weird.
sky sort of people. People you'd think, no, there's no way. And Rob, of all people, acne. I don't get it. It's very weird.
Why do we dream the way we dream, hey, Rob?
Yeah, who cares? That's
Who
not
knows?
the worst
Who
thing to
knows?
talk about
That's
is
the whole
people's
thing.
dreams.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's
No one
all.
wants to hear about other people's dreams.
Now, Rob, we wanted to get you on because I'm a big fan of 911, the series here on in Australia on Channel 7. Then I realised 911 Lone Star was coming out, and there you were going to be. And I love Rob Lowe. I love The West Wing. I love Parks and Recreation. You're very good at choosing quality work to be involved with. And this is a whole new thing. So we're very excited. 911 Lone Star. We've all fallen in love with the 911 series. Tell us, what's the difference about this? Is based in Texas, right?
Yeah, it's so obviously the original 911 is in LA, and LA is a great place to base things because the stories are very LA centric. But this is a more Western, rough and rugged iteration of the 911 franchise, and Austin, Texas, is a very interesting place because you get what one fantasizes Texas to be, but Austin is this liberal, like uber progressive bastion put right in the middle of a big red state like Texas.
I didn't even know that existed. I thought it was all a red state. I didn't realize there was a little liberal hub in there.
Well, it makes San Francisco look conservative.
Wow.
So it's a great place to set stories, which is why we set this new version of 911 in Austin.
And what about the podcast that you're doing?
Oh, he's doing everything.
I know. Podcasts
Everyone's
are a big
whoring
thing.
themselves out
Everyone
to
loves
be a pod.
podcasts.
Everyone's doing them.
So, what's yours? What do you like to focus on with yours? Because yours is called Literally with Rob Lowe. So, what are we hearing on that?
And it's only 4 weeks old. It comes out every Thursday, and we've had our first guests have been Chris Pratt from Parks and Rec and Guardians of the Galaxies. This week will be Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh,
And
wow,
the
she's
reason
got a
they're-
lot to say.
She does. And you know what's the reason I wanted to do it was I'm curious and I love learning about people and I love talking to people, and it's a chance to learn and be curious because I've been acting for 40 years and a lot of it, I still love it, but there's not a lot to learn anymore. But podcasting's new to me, and talking to people that I've known throughout my career in a way that other people are never going to have a chance to because they don't have that experience. Gwyneth, for example, is a perfect guest because when she was 18, she was crashing in my wife and I's guest bedroom, trying to get an agent. So I have a history with so many different people that I'm able to ask them about stuff that's just not going to come up on anybody else's
Well, here we
show.
go. Let me give you something, because when Jackie and I had dinner a couple of years ago with Gwyneth in New York, and her and I had a bit of an argument because she wanted to try to bring back the bush. The girl's pubic area, and I was like,
I know, I do.
Like,
that was a hill she was willing to die on for quite a while.
And I was very anti it as a man, as a red-blooded man. I was like, we don't want the bush. I'm not sure what you think. Jackie is a bit half and half. What do you think of the bush?
Half and half.
Bush.
That's what we want.
That's
That's exactly what we want.
One side is for the guys that like the bush, and the other side's free. So you just pick a side.
Yes, I'm fair. I don't want to go to 1970s, but I'm also over the 1990s porn doll look.
So what is what is that in the middle? What's in between?
What would you call it? We can coin a phrase here.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, you're not talking about the runway, are you? You're talking about the whole
not the
thing,
landing strip.
but trimmed.
Let's just go just underneath, and we'll call it the bird's nest.
How about this?
Okay.
Benevolently disheveled.
Oh, I like that. That sounds like something Gwyneth would love, that terminology.
There'd be a candle out immediately called
Yeah.
that. You know,
Like-
she'd have the candle.
It's like conscious uncoupling.
Yeah, that's it.
Benevolently. Yeah.
You know when I realised how good an actor you were? Because I've always thought acting was just pretending until I saw The West Wing, and you would speak all this dialogue, and the camera wouldn't stop filming, and I was like, oh, Rob Lowe's not just a pretty face. This guy's quality. Like, he can pump it out like he knows it, and it was believable, and that's when I actually realised, oh, this guy didn't just root his way to the top. This is a real actor.
You're very nice to say so, and you know, there are certain performances and certain shows and TV shows where it's undeniable that the actors are giving it to you, and then there are other shows where the editors can help you, and they can cut to an explosion, and you got all kinds of help. But on a show like The West Wing, that writing, Aaron Sorkin's writing, is so
amazing,
intricate and so dense. It really requires a facility, and it was a good fit with me.
Was that hell? Was that hell to learn? Because you came from a place of such knowledge watching that show. Like, it almost felt like we were getting sort of a sneak peek inside the real White House, and everyone on that show was great. Was there anyone that was not good that you were like, we got an asshole Sheen's father, we got a Sheen's father's got to get out of here? No, everyone was good, right?
Everybody was great. They did a great job of putting that cast together, and just pound for pound in terms of the acting, I think it's the strongest ensemble I've ever worked with. Although I will say the Parks and Recreation cast in terms of the comedy version
amazing
is equally as formidable.
You know,
Agreed.
when we spoke to Jared Leto once, he said he has the ability to look at a fan and know which of his songs or films they like the best. And so obviously Kyle has said West Wing is his favourite of yours. If you had to pick a TV show that was my favourite, one I absolutely love.
One that Rob did, or just in any
one
show
that
in
Rob
the world?
did. Of course, it has to involve Rob.
Okay.
What's the one you would pick just looking at me? You'd be the sort that would love what?
I'm going with Brothers and Sisters.
Yes, you've got it.
Yes, well done.
Yeah, I love that show. God, that was good. It should never have stopped, Rob.
Oh, okay, enough of the nostalgic rubbish. All
you
shows
had your
have got to
West
stop.
Wing bullshit.
They've all
I'm
got to
allowed to
stop.
have a little bit of
Imagine if
nostalgia.
he was on the West Wing now with the Donald Trump it just wouldn't work. It wouldn't be the same.
That's right.
It would never work.
It would not be the same.
Now, do you get to pick all your people in the 911 Lone Star? Are you producing? Have you got a say in all that? How does that work?
I am the executive producer of the show.
Wow.
And my partner is Ryan Murphy, the great
very
television
talented
auteur creator. He knows his way around a hit show, I'd say.
Yes.
And a fellow named Tim Minear, who is a super writer, my partner, and ironically, as all things come full circle, Gwyneth Paltrow's husband, Brad Falchuk.
He's also a genius.
So you got a bit of Glee people in there.
Hey, let me. I'm gonna pitch something to you. I haven't done this. I was gonna go. Who was the guy that created 2.5 Men and all that stuff? That the big
Chuck
falling
Lorre.
out.
Chuck
Chuck
Lorre.
Lorre. I was going to go to him with it. Now this is a real out there idea. But you remember how Charlie Sheen died in 2.5 Men, and they killed Roseanne off in Roseanne because these people are crazy. I've come up with an idea: Charlie and Roseanne in heaven, where they're the same characters, but it's in heaven. You can bring all the dead people in. I was going to get a Chuck Lorre, and I thought maybe Chuck he's not over it yet.
But also they would be in heaven, and they would have just arrived in heaven,
exactly,
because they've been killed off
on their
and
character.
And then they get to meet other people, like they spot Michael Jackson in a cafe somewhere, or maybe I'm not selling it right.
Yeah, well, no one came. Who asked your opinion anyway?
I just thought of the Michael Jackson thing. Thought that'd be an extra flavour.
What's Roseanne going to go over to Michael and go, I know what you did to those kids?
Well,
no.
it could be like it's a black comedy, like
real dark.
and it's really inappropriate. So
we're going to give you the first option. Do you want it? You've got first option now. You've got 10 seconds to make up your mind, yes or no. Start the clock.
Okay, here's the problem.
It's not starting well.
It's not. What's the problem?
Here's the problem.
What is it?
Okay, assuming you get Mike, Roseanne, and Charlie, all of the other dead people are actually dead. So now you have people playing them. So the reality is all messed up.
Oh, you're right. We need to get people who have only been killed off in TV shows.
Oh, that's too hard.
Oh, we'll get Misha Barton. She was killed off, wasn't she, in the OC?
By the way, welcome to show business. This is how ideas go. You have a good one, and then you go to the studio, and they go, well, but here's the issue. I'm wondering, and they hit you with something like that, and you're like,
yeah, right. You're right. Yeah. Okay, we need to workshop that, Kyle. Back to the drawing board, but still with the same idea. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Well, let's talk about something else. Put that aside. Pretend that you would never pitch that. Okay?
All right.
Forget it. Where do we need to know about your show, 911 Lone Star? Anything else we need to know? Because we're ready to go. We're ready to watch it. We're still locked down in quarantine here. We're still not back to normal, perfect TV viewing time.
Well, here's what the beauty is about a show premiering a little bit later, as it is there than it did in the States. Is we already know it's a hit.
Yeah.
People loved it. It was the number one new show on all of television last year.
Wow!
And
congratulations.
That is very, very. Thank you. It's very hard to do in this day and age to launch a hit, and I think it's because it has that same thing that you love about the original, but delivered in a completely different way, so it doesn't feel derivative, and it doesn't feel like a knockoff. I think our version is. It's every bit of the crazy, can you believe it? Can you top this action rescue? But I think our show is a little more gritty and a little more character driven than
that's good.
The original. People seem to really like it. And I love doing it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Good.
Oh, you're great on it. I've seen a few. They're awesome. Congratulations on everything. You're an icon actor. Is there anyone else out there that who do you hang out with? Do you hang out with other icons? Like you hanging out at like an icon party, icons only. There's you.
Icons only. Yes. There's an area like a VIP room for icons only. We all have a housing development. I borrow sugar from Brad Pitt and Oprah.
I get it.
That's great.
I love that.
Imagine if that existed.
Oh,
where
it does.
all like celebrities just have to live in the one area, the one suburb.
This is the new show. This is the new show. It's not heaven.
Yeah.
It's an icon only housing development.
Icon housing, yeah.
Hang on, this is now his idea. I'm going to make no money out of this.
You're out, Kyle.
It's a
You've just been booted out.
Rob Lowe's stolen a great idea.
You obviously have worked and you know a lot of famous people. So in this, we reel off some famous names and you just yell out, stop, when you think you have a story that relates to them. Okay.
Great.
He loves the idea of it. Okay, good. Here we go. Brad Pitt, Ryan Gosling.
Brett, I got a Pitt story for you.
Oh, we've got to stop it on
go.
Pitt. Back it up on Pitt. Okay, what do you got?
One of the nicest things anybody ever told me was Brad told me that the day before he packed up his car to move to Los Angeles to try to become an actor from Missouri, he watched St. Elmo's Fire twice.
Oh, how nice is that? It's always good when they say that.
And if by the way, if that was his inspiration, it's a miracle that he's made it. So I tip my hat.
I like that.
Okay, next one is Ryan Gosling. Then we have Kevin Bacon.
I got a Kevin Bacon one.
Okay.
Hate the breaks. What do you got on Bacon?
So I like to think that in some small way, Kevin Bacon owes me a lot because I auditioned for Footloose and made it all the way to the dance auditions. and you had to practice for like 2 weeks. It was a big dance, and it was to of all things a Styx song, I think, called "The Best of Times." It's the worst song ever to dance to.
God.
And at the end, and I'm not really a dancer, but I took it really seriously. I really wanted that part. I knew that movie was going to be
so. It was
huge.
Down to you and Kevin and maybe a few other people, was it?
Well, we didn't know who it was down to, but there were about 25 of us in the audition, and the dance audition ended with a big running jump to your knees, slide across the floor, and I blew out my ACL.
And
no! I left the Footloose dance audition in an ambulance. But it was one of the first times I really realized that Hollywood isn't exactly a bastion of truth. Is when the producers came up to me and said, "Don't worry about it. You did great. We've decided we're not going to hire an actor anyway. We're just going to hire a dancer." 48 hours later, high on morphine, I read that Kevin Bacon got the part.
And you were right. It was a big movie.
It was, and I remember that sliding moment too. Like that was on the poster, wasn't it? That thing.
Yes. Don't know if it was on the poster, but it definitely was a big moment.
It was the sliding thing. Yeah. I remember seeing it.
All right, let's move on. We got Julia Roberts.
Oh, she's lovely.
We have Cameron Diaz.
Oh, gorgeous.
Danny Glover.
Oh, yeah.
Got a Danny Glover.
Okay.
All right.
On my podcast, the one that's most currently out, Keegan Michael Key, who I just love. He makes me laugh like no other. Told me what I think is the best celebrity story ever, and it's Danny Glover meeting Morgan Freeman and telling him how much he loved The Shawshank Redemption. And Danny Glover has got a very particular way of speaking. He talks like this. And apparently, according to Keegan Michael Key, Danny Glover told Morgan Freeman, "I love you. You're so good in that movie, Shaw Shrimp Production." The Shaw Shrimp Production.
Shaw Shrimp Production.
Near enough is good enough.
That's great. All right, let's wrap it up with Julianne Moore, Orlando Bloom,
I love Orlando.
George Clooney.
Orlando Bloom. I got an Orlando
Go
Bloom.
on.
Don't tell me you were.
That's it. Last one.
Were you on the boogie board thing where he had his penis out? Remember those pictures? Him, Katy Perry. Katy was dressed.
I was quite impressed.
Yeah, me too. We only had Katie on a couple of days ago, and I brought it up again. I was like, great to see her, because she's pregnant now. So obviously we've seen what's caused that on the boogie board.
I was coming back from an appointment the other day in my neighborhood, and I see my wife driving towards me when I know she's supposed to be at the house. She's driving like a bat out of hell. I'm like, what the hell? And I call her. I go, where are you going? She's, Orlando Bloom has lost his dog. I'm helping him to find his dog. I realized that it became an international incident that Orlando Bloom's dog was lost, and my wife Cheryl and my son Matthew spent like 4 hours looking for that sweet little dog in our neighborhood.
And did the dog get
so
found?
Far we haven't found. Not yet, unfortunately.
Not yet. Aren't your family lovely, though, helping them look for the dog?
You know what? I saw you and the boys on Celebrity Gogglebox. That was great. I don't know. See, I wouldn't have imagined someone like with your profile doing that, but then everyone on it was like mega stars. I thought it was awesome. And you and the boys, you get on. Like, I just love that father-son. Like, my dad's dead, so it's good to watch a dad with his kids. It's awesome.
Well, if anybody wants to do a really deep dive on that, we did an action-adventure reality show where my boys and I get in a souped-up pickup truck and travel around the United States looking for supernatural activities called the Lowe Files.
We know all about it.
Yes.
My favorite show I've ever done. It's my favorite moment.
It's the
I bet you're into that. And then we were talking about that quite a bit, so that was a big show.
He's done a lot. He's got a lot more to do. Listen and subscribe to Literally with Rob Lowe, available wherever you get your podcasts from. Episodes drop every single Thursday. Rob, great to talk to you. It's great to have another great podcast out there. You know, ours is one of the biggest in Australia, so
love it. I need all the help I can get, guys. I love it. Thank you.
Mate,
Thanks,
lovely
Rob.
to see you. Thanks. Appreciate your time.
Appreciate you guys.
No worries, buddy.
Bye. Good to see the acne's cleared up. You're looking good.
Thank you. Thanks. So glad.
Bye. Rob Lowe this morning here at Kiss FM.
The Kyle and Jackie O Show.